Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. A lot of people talk about the importance of Ramadan in different ways, and one of the reasons that people cite for why Muslims fast is, it helps us feel more compassionate towards those who are less fortunate. I think that, certainly is an important reason, but I really try to think about it in more fundamental terms. I think when you're fasting and after you've done it for a few days, you start to really see how your body goes through this transformation, and you start to appreciate how dependent we all are upon Allah's mercy and Allah's rizq, His provision for us in this life, in our physical forms. And without that experience of fasting, sometimes we overlook that. In other traditions, people fast and abstain from a variety of things. But in the Islamic tradition, fasting in particular includes the abstention from drinking water throughout the daytime. Water is such an important, vital source of life, right? 65% or more of our bodies are composed of water. Allah says in Surah Al-Anbiya, for example, that every living thing is made with water. It's important, therefore, to be mindful of how we use water. We can't be wasteful. One time the Prophet was with a companion named Saad, may God be pleased with him, and Saad had been making wudu next to a river, and the Prophet came by and observed and said, "What wastage is this?" And Saad was surprised. He says, "What do you mean? Is there waste in wudu? How can there be waste of water in wudu?" And the Prophet said, "Yes, there can be, and even if you're next to a flowing river that's abundant, you can still be wasteful." So this is a very strong indication to us that it's not about having access to resources, it's about how we utilize those resources and having a mindfulness about avoiding the wastage and the loss of those materials that have been put at our disposal. So all of these things are issues that we have to contend with on a day-to-day basis throughout the year. So it's not an issue that is only to be addressed in Ramadan. I do think that in Ramadan, as we are given an opportunity to clarify our thinking, to reflect more on the message of the Quran and the practice of the Prophet, and we try to cultivate a greater sense of spirituality and connection with each other as human beings, but also with the earth and the universe in terms of looking out in nature and looking out at the stars and contemplating. I think all of those things can be tools that help us concentrate on issues and change our behavior. We often call it a training time, a rejuvenation time. It is. I think we just need to think more broadly about what that means in terms of collective action and individual action with respect to safeguarding the resources of the earth, and not just only about the strength training or spiritual training that we often talk about.